views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
This show's audio was via a Skype call.
The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jen's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jen is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jen Royster.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jen. Wow. Today's a big day. Yesterday, supermoon, mega supermoon, one of 3 in a row we've had beginning of the, with this year. So it's been a big year of change and energy flowing in. And today we have the equinox for spring here in the northern hemisphere. So it really doesn't matter. It's an equinox. It's an equal balance of day and light. And they merge together. And it's a supermoon Libra we had yesterday, and you will still feel this energy. And so today we're talking about all this energy, the angel insights on, wow, what does this all mean? What can we do with this? It's actually a pretty incredible time. We've begun the new cycle officially now, okay? We do this every year. We have a spring as the beginning of new. We've just moved into the energy of Aries. And you know what that's like. It's like, go, 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 right? Well, it also has the influence here of the Libra supermoon. What is Libra? Libra is all about balancing. All about balancing. And it's a 3-3-3 day. And we shared and we talked about the 3-3-3 energy for this month at the very beginning of the month when we did the whole month overview. But let me just refresh you. That's mind, body, soul balance. So this energy dynamic is interesting because we have Aries that just wants to just go flying out of the gate, go without hesitation. Aries is good energy. It gets things done, but it's also very, sometimes impatient, just goes without thinking about it. So with a little bit of influence of retrograde, a little bit of influence of Libra, we are finding ourselves wanting to go, but wait, we got to review and think. It was kind of like when you're a kid and you have to be a grown-up and be patient. That's what it reminded me of. And it made me have a little bit of a chuckle within myself because it's like you just want to go, but you got to wait a minute, think about it, review it, be, mature about it. And I'm like, oh, but I just want to go. Yes. Why is it doing that? Because this is actually going to help us make better decisions. This is going to help us utilize Aries energy in a very productive way, moving into a new cycle. Oh, I know. You hear that? So when I was asking for insights from the angels about this, I'm like, okay, what can I share? What is the best way to approach and understand this? Because I don't know about you, but I've been really feeling it for probably a good week now. And you will be feeling this balancing, this need for balance between work, home, relationships, school, whatever you might have going on. Your life balance is going to be a priority. You're going to feel that, but you're going to feel it as far as your health, your spiritual beliefs. Are they being met? Your needs? Is something just not working anymore? Have your beliefs shifted? Are you opening up and expanding your awareness to see things differently, but different perspectives, things like that? And if you try to stay with the old, it's just not going to feel right. Libra is really bringing a strong push, and it's a positive push to help us balance and make those things a priority. Self-love, self-care, just balancing, just balance, period. I mean, we run ourselves in circles trying to keep up with all the demands of this world. That's just not going to cut it in a new cycle that we're moving into. And to me, that's refreshing to hear. That's really positive to hear. And I like that. I'm like, man, we're tired trying to keep up with all this crazy. This is not what this wants us to do at all. Retrograde, Mercury retrograde was kind of, that always brings us back into the communication. Are we listening? Are we listening to ourselves? Are we listening to our intuition? And that's where we have an interesting dynamic of combination here with energy, because it's going to bring into focus more this month, listening to your intuition, trusting it. And if you haven't been listening to it, or you don't take it seriously, or you don't trust it, that could feel challenging, but it's an opportunity for you to fine tune that and actually start to begin to have a discovery within yourself that is going to have the answers you've been looking for the whole time. This energy will go all the way till the full moon in April, because that's one more Libra full moon in April. And then that kind of closes off that push to have this balance, what it's brought in. So the opportunity for a new cycle, to do it a different way, to do it a better way, the opportunity to start fresh. We have a clean slate. This is like a day of celebration, really. It's like everything's anew. Clean slate. If you had a clean slate, and you do, but do you believe you do? What would you do different? That's what you want to ask yourself right now. That's very, very cool. Very cool. There's a lot that we probably have been going so fast, rushing around, trying to keep up, meeting demands, work all day, come home, be exhausted, the whole thing, that you're missing so much about your potential and what you have to offer and who you are. That's why the balance is so important right now. And if things are not meeting and not working, why are we keeping it? Why are we doing that? If it involves other people, we're just holding them up too. It's not always just about what, you're feeling. There's other dynamics in that. So this energy is interesting to me, and I've been looking forward to it. It is a brand new cycle. It is a clean slate. It is a 3-3-3 energy. Today's the strongest that you'll feel that energy if you follow that kind of numerology or the energy of the numbers, which I just see the synchronicity in all of it. I love to study it all. And then just this whole thing is just coming together to help us approach, embrace, do things better, have a better life, see that we can have choices. I mean, we've always had free will, but are we using it, or do we feel like it's been taken away? There's just so many dynamics there that what I want to do this hour is check in with the angels on insights into this and some tips and just how we can embrace a new way of life because it's here, higher frequency. Absolutely. If you haven't been feeling it, I don't know. I mean, are you just not wanting to? I mean, obviously people can choose to stay in a third dimensional environment, and you can't do anything about that if they do. But there is fifth dimension here now. There is fourth. And a lot of people are resonating back and forth in the fourth because that's kind of the transitional, dimension where you're seeing a better way, but you haven't quite got it worked out yet. And we've talked about that before too. So there's lots that we can share with you today, and I look forward to that. So if you are joining us, I want to welcome everyone. If you're brand new, welcome to the show. We are all about metaphysical topics, the angelic realm, energy healing, moving into how energy can help, align, and it's part of healthcare, balancing mind, body, soul. We also have the chat's open on YouTube with the video live stream. So hello and good morning to everyone at the video on YouTube. We're also live streaming with video on Facebook Live with Transformation Talk Radio, our network. So they are streaming it over there. So I want to welcome everyone. Hello to everyone in the YouTube. I see you, David, Robin, Annie. I'm going to say Annie. Megan here. Okay, that works. Hi from New Zealand. Well, good. Great to have you with us. And let's see, we have Kelly, the journey to becoming me. I like that username. You come every week. You've been with us a few weeks now, and you have a lot of vibrant energy, by the way. Feels good. And hello to Barbara. So you know what? Awesome. Let's see. Annie is saying, I just had to set the alarm for this show in particular because the angel card I drew last night was the moon. How serendipitous is that? I love it. Well, thank you for joining us. I always love getting to know the people in the community that tune in. They come together and they hang out and watch the show together. And we're learning together. We are learning from one another, not just me sharing everything. You guys teach me every day, by the way. Just want you to know that. I will not be so, there's nothing that you know everything about. I can't even imagine. I think I would be bored if I wasn't constantly learning. So, just keep that in mind that we all learn from one another. I'm just here hosting this and putting it all together, to be honest. That's how I feel about it. And I share what I study and learn, and I'm passionate about it. And it's pretty much my life every day. So that's what we got going on. So we're going to take a quick break here. And then when we come back, we're going to really start diving in to this energy. It's a 333 day. It's a new cycle beginning. We have lots of energy that you've been feeling. I would love for you to share. If you're in the chat, share how you've been feeling it. If you've been feeling the supermoon, or you've been doing any kind of meditations or equinox, beginnings, new cycles, what are you doing to share? What are you doing to move forward with a clean slate? So we are going to take that quick break. I'm Dr. Jen. You're listening to The Jen Royster Show. You might be watching our live video stream. We will be right back.
If you have a sense that you are meant for more, join Heather Allison every third Tuesday at noon Pacific as she explores an ancient, forgotten energy within us and helps us access our original archetypal blueprint. The Golden Path will help you remember the key to unlocking your life, love, success, and magic you were meant for. A key to unlocking your golden path. Visit heather-allison.com.
Are you done being afraid to jump into the life that's waiting for you? Are you ready for a real shift? I invite you to tune in every Tuesday with me, Tracy L., on the Tracy L. Clark Show, where we will teach you how to live your extraordinary life. At 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I will provide the tools and the steps needed to help you transcend perceived limitations and move forward with an extraordinary life. For more information, visit me at tracylclark.com.
Have you ever heard of the 90-10 rule? It goes like this. 90% of the time, no one is thinking of you. 90% of the time, everyone's thinking about themselves. And if you think of it like that, it takes the weight off because now you're not being judged. I'm Megan Edge. I'd love for you to join me on Playing on the Edge Radio, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Radio FM.
A word of caution, if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
What the fun do I do with my shui? Are you ready to hear what your space is about you and what you're communicating to the outer world about your inner dialogue? Are you ready to create harmony in your surroundings? Then join us on Clear Speak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolfe on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for current IT integrated with ancient knowledge to boost the broadcast of your space. Visit JeanetteWolfe.com for more information on this amazing approach.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit JenniferZellup.com to thrive with Jen.
Welcome back to the show. We're talking about this new cycle that began with all of this supermoon energy. This is a big pivotal month, March is, for 2019, and we have opportunity to do everything better, to do everything we've always wanted to do, to really set the pace going forward on a new journey that really suits us and supports us in a better way. So that's a lot to celebrate if you think about it. It does mean new, unknown. It does mean, okay, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go for it, that kind of thing. That's where Aries helps. So let's talk about that energy a little bit, because Aries can be, a little bit rambunctious. It can be rash, impulsive, quick to act, where those other energies that I mentioned earlier with the Libra moon and retrograde will slow it down. And that's a good thing. This is one of the best retrogrades ever, really, because it slows you down to review a little bit and just see if that's the way you want to approach it. Just see it clearly, listen a little bit better, and then to make sure it's going to be a balance, or is it going to pile on more load that's going to drain you more? What I'm noticing, and that's what I'm looking at, it looks like people are putting some things out on the chat. It's really pinpointing what's draining you, what's not draining you, what needs to stay, what needs to go. And, you hear that, we talk about that a lot, because that's just part of spiritual awakening. When you are awakening on a new spiritual path, that's one of the biggest things you're doing, is constantly looking at what's working, what's not. This is more like that on, like fuel added to it, like even more so. Intuition is really sharp right now. If you have any type of connection with your intuition, you should be feeling like it's just dropping right in your lap at this point. It's very strong with this type of dynamic energy floating around. It really wants you to use that too, because it's giving everyone an opportunity to introduce themselves to their own intuition, for example, and, really give it the time of day. Listen to what it's telling you, because that is important. Moving forward, we really do need to be using intuition, our own, not what somebody else's is. Okay. Yes, I'm an intuitive and I help do readings and things like that. But really, the goal is for you to be trusting your own. And 9 times out of 10, I think the best readings are when I'm validating to you what you already know. You know what I mean by that. It's just to give you, kind of give you that support while you're working on trusting it without anybody having to validate anything, if you think about it. I know. And it's like, well, why would you say that? That's kind of what you do. My goal is to help you know that you can do all of these things yourself too. That's the beauty of this. So I'm sharing, but at the same time, you can too. Let's see what's going on over here in chat. Let's see. Barbara took her first Kundalini yoga class last night. full moon. Whoa, I bet that was amazing. She said, weird dreams all night. Yeah, that sounded like it stirred all kinds of stuff up. And that's good because it got energy moving and shifting and presenting itself. So that's amazing. You might want to keep a journal on those dreams. You might have them for a few nights. Let's see, Journey to Becoming Me. Very vivid dreams in the last week, or so myself, one of which was of a little girl, almost age 1, named Anna, whom my husband and I rescued and adamantly adopted in the dream. She is beautiful. Oh, how beautiful. You know, when you have something new like that, especially the one sticks out a little bit because the one is the beginning. And a lot of times when we dream about babies, and this is just if this clicks for you, okay, there's not one set rule on dream interpretation, but in general, anything that's, young, childlike, a baby, or even if you thought you were pregnant or something like that, or you were going to adopt or, something new like that coming in is a new beginning of something new in your life. May not literally be the child. It could be a new project, a new direction, a new something, but it's very positive. And it sounds like this little girl lit up your whole life and it was very bright in the dream. So that's really good energy represented there. And I love that. Journey to Becoming Me. And I think of her daily sense. She thinks of Anna daily. I know just a dream, but not so sure. Any angel advice on it? I think I was already doing that. I didn't even see that second sentence yet. It feels like something very new that is going to be in the journey. And that is a journey you and your husband will probably, it sounds more like you're going to share together. And it's actually very positive. It sounds like it's just going to brighten up your life and bring a lot of joy in. I feel the flow of joy coming in for both of you. Whether it's a child or not a child, it feels like it's a brand new project. I don't know if it's actually a literal child. It feels like something new you both are going to embark on together. If it is a child, same thing. It really doesn't matter what it is. It matters that you recognize the joy in whatever is coming in. So that's what they're bringing a focus to me. Angels are saying, focus on the joy, not what it is, focus on the joy. They keep saying that to me. So that's why you're hearing me say it that way. So that's what I'm picking up for that. That's actually pretty cool. So let me go into this a little bit. Now, Aries, like I said, is an energy that's going to get you going. Okay. You're going to be ready to just go. You're going to also feel intuition is popping up. You're going to start feeling this nudge more. If you've already been connecting with intuition, you know what I'm talking about. You just start feeling this something. If you haven't been, you're going to start feeling this repetitive, I want to say nagging, but maybe not nagging, but it is a repetitive hunch or thought that just keeps coming up like, why do I keep feeling a sense of that? You need to pay attention to that. Make sure you make a note of it. Don't just disregard it and start to keep track of how that's coming in. Because if you're not sure with the first one that comes in, intuitively, you can ask for clarity. Say, I'm feeling this, but could I have like maybe something else to kind of validate that that's it? And it could be a variety of different messages. And then you're putting the puzzle together, but the puzzle becomes easier and easier. It doesn't become more complicated. So it's really a nuance of practicing to have awareness of all the little tiny subtleties in life. I mean, when you're really connected, every little thing in your path, you pick up and you notice because it's all part of the reality that we're manifesting. So that helps you put it together and you start to see how the universe really is connecting and putting it out there for you. And it's not to tell you what to do. It's to answer what you're asking for. What are you asking for? It's really an interesting dynamic with that. I know. Now, one of the things you want to have a heads up on and just really keep in check with Aries energy is it can get attached to the ego a bit, and watch out for that. You want to be making your choices from your higher self, and that's where intuition is going to help you. So with Aries energy, it wants to go. What we want to practice is using Aries energy to motivate what we want to do that we're picking up intuitively from the higher self. So instead of it just coming straight from the ego or, just feeling like that, or the aggressiveness that can get irritating, it can do that. It can do that if it's not coming from the higher self. If you start feeling like that, boom, now you know. Stop right there and go, you know what? I don't want to do it from this. I want to do it from my higher self, not my ego. And tapping in like that, that's one of the clues that Michael gave me, Archangel Michael. He said, you got to know how to identify when you're coming from your ego or your higher self. Now's the time to practice that. The Aries energy will help you. And it's great to practice redirecting Aries energy from the higher self moving forward to enact those dreams and desires versus from the ego. So ego wants to have, feel assured. Ego sometimes can get, impatient or irritated or judgmental. And, ego can be those lower frequencies at times, but ego doesn't have to be negative at all if it follows and works with higher self. So these are things that we have to practice individually, though. We have to practice individually. So let me see what else we have going on over here. Let's see. Megan over in New Zealand. I was driving along the coast road last night and rounded the corner to see a huge golden supermoon on the horizon over the water. It was awesome. I love moons. I keep my windows open and let it light up the whole house. It's so beautiful. And I just feel like I just bask in it because I really feel moons all the time. I feel the cycle of the moons a lot. Kelly's saying, hey, Jen, I think I might have seen a spirit with a question mark. Not sure what to call it. I saw a weird vortex moving in my living room while I was reading. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Honestly, I see movement of energy pretty regular. And yes, it'll happen it'll happen in weird ways. It'll happen, the vortex, seeing a vortex, you're seeing the movement of energy. The first time I ever saw it, it was kind of strange, and I could actually feel it, like I had a strong wind, like I was in the middle of a cyclone. And it was really weird, but at the same time, you are opening awareness. So spirits can move in different ways. I don't usually see them like that, moving like that. If it's someone like a spirit or someone crossed over like that, their frequency is lower than angelic or spirit guide, so to speak. And I don't feel it like that. That I don't. That doesn't mean you won't. But you're asking if I've ever experienced that. I know that there's a difference. Now with angels, it feels like it flashes by and it's quick and it's moving quickly. Spirit guides, they have a slower movement for me, but they just come in and they don't want to frighten and they're calm. Anything that you're not sure of and you feel uneasy about. And here's the other thing, because there's a dynamic of the veil being so thin right now, you do want to shield up so you're not drawing in anything negative. One of the most important things you can do in that is to keep your focus on things that are positive and uplifting. If you feel yourself going down into lower frequencies, do whatever it takes. Do what you need to do to lift yourself up higher, because they're drawn to lower. I mean, lower spirit stuff is going to be drawn to lower energy. It's really that simple. So if you don't want that around, you go higher. But it is something to keep a check on. But what I'm thinking is that you were literally feeling the energy moving in that's so dynamic. That's what it feels like from just kind of tapping into your question. And honestly, clearing, cleansing, grounding, balance, keeping your energy frequency high. And when you feel like you need it cleared, do it. You may want to do it every day for a bit, because when you have a moon like this, especially around full moons, it's always thinner. The veil is thinner. So it's easier to connect to all kinds of things. So you want to keep your spirits and your energy a little higher, so you are not drawing in something lower. Fear will draw them in. So that's why we talk so much about, we don't want to be attached to fear. We want to work and we want to do everything we can to stay away from anything like that. But I say that not to make anybody afraid. I say it that once you realize how important shielding up and keeping your own energy clear, how important that is, what I'm talking about isn't an issue. Because where light is, there is no darkness. That's it. That's how that works. It just does. If you shine a light in a corner, that corner's not dark anymore. Darkness is the absence of light. That's it. So it's simply keeping the focus on the higher. So that right there is an answer for that. And that's a good one that she's asking. She said it was calm. It didn't upset me or anything. Gonna focus on the positive. Yeah. And I mean, guys, we're going to normally go back and forth with positive, negative vibrations. You're going to feel that. Don't think, oh my gosh, I just thought of something. Don't do that. Just keep it real and know that none of us can just skate through this easy. We all have to learn it. I mean, I have to keep mine in check too. But honestly, if you had a practice of daily intention of clearing your energy, one of the best things in the world to do is, if you're out there in the workforce, or you're out in the world and you feel like you come home and it's like, oh, clear your day off before you go to sleep at night and shield up. Clear, shield up, go to sleep peacefully. The dreams actually will represent that too. It's quite different than when you go to bed with a lot of charged energy that was stressful and tension and maybe picking up somebody else's energy, things like that. It's probably one of the most important self-care things you can do, honestly, on an energetic level. If you're empathic, which I am, I can't not do that because I just feel like a sponge absorbing everything out there. But once I started to understand and that's how I can connect with angels and do readings, is because of that empathic side that's so strong. Energetically, I can feel the slightest shift of energy. I just know it's shifted. I can see it. I can feel it. Yeah. And I know it. So once I just started to go, okay, this is not going to wear me down like this. I'm not going to go spinning out, not understanding it. I'm just going to understand it, learn it. I'm going to be proactive. This is where I used Aries energy, for example. I'm going to be proactive to keep it cleaned up and keep my shield up and keep just my foundation strong. And once I started to do that, there was nothing to be afraid of. And that is freedom, guys. We've been talking about freedom too, remember? So keep that in mind, because there's so much on this that it's just a matter of you applying and you practicing your skills. If you could just practice your skills, there you go. So David is recharging, hitting the beach. Hello. Okay, David, watch that sun. Okay, watch it. Watch that sun. Don't burn your little self up now. But you know what? Going to the beach, that's what I love. Go to the beach, that salt water, boom. It just, if you ever go to the beach, and it's salt water I'm talking about, you just, as a day at the beach, you feel completely just cleared. So relaxed, it just pulls all of it out that you sleep like a baby that night. As long as you didn't burn yourself up with the sun. Sunshine is good for you, vitamin D, of course, but, everything in moderation, right? So let's see. What is she saying? Let's see. There's another one from Megan. All you're saying is as though it's a personal response to all that I've been going through these past couple of weeks. It's a slightly weird but nice feeling. Oh, yes. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing a personal experience. And, that's how it works. When you share what you've learned and what's helped you with the world, whatever it might be how to make the best whatever garden, I don't know. You're going to draw in the people that need that knowledge or are trying to learn that too, or that can relate. And so obviously that's helping. But clearing is so important, guys. And oh goodness, Shadana just flew in the door. Yes, she did. I'm sorry. Did you guys feel that? Did you guys feel that when she showed up in chat? She just was like, wham, as she's saying, good morning, Dr. Jen. I'm going to blame this energy for me being so emotional yesterday. I was a blubbery mess. No, but I am drawn to incorporating a more alkaline diet, pro and prebiotics. Okay, Shadana, holy moly. Yes, the energy will affect some of us that way. You might feel like you get very melancholy sometimes. You might have memories and thoughts. Now, that's part of that retrograde too. It is bringing up things that might be lingering that you need to release or let go of, but it's also bringing it up to heal. So I'm sharing what she's sharing so it helps someone else that might be relating to that. So you have some strong energy today, though. I really felt you. I actually felt it hit my body when she popped up in the chat. I don't think I've ever felt that before. Not negative, but you have a lot of Aries influence there, Shadana, that you could actually redirect very positively. I was talking about that earlier in the show if you missed that part. That's actually interesting. So she's ready to go. She's fired up and she's ready to deal with this. So I wish you the best on the alkaline diet. I love the alkaline diet and all of that. I mean, I do a lot of that. I usually, with the foods and natural choices of what I'm eating. So here you go. Everybody's feeling it some way or some other way. Another way you might have been feeling it and you might still be feeling it is if the last few days before the moon came through, you were really, really tired or needed more sleep. Some people were feeling it that way. And then other people were feeling it completely the opposite. They were up all night. I know. Which one were you? Where did it affect you that way? I find that interesting. I always have the dreams coming in so much more, but then a lot of premonitions were coming in. And I don't go out there trying to have a premonition, but I was having a lot of them. And it was very weird. And then it would happen. I was like, wow, it's like I just lived the whole day, all night. And then I just saw it in rerun as it was actually happening. It was the strangest thing. And I don't usually do that. I don't go out there trying to pick that up. It was just flowing. Like I was seeing the timeline before it happened. And that's different from the intuition I do with angels or when I'm asking for the guidance. That was, I actually asked Michael, like, what am I supposed to do with that? It was really giving me opportunity. It was showing me it was a way of reviewing before it happened to make a different choice if I wanted. I went, wow, okay, I'm going to get used to that. It only happened a couple of times. It didn't happen all the time, but it was very different. And that's me saying that. And I do intuition stuff or picking up and readings all the time. But this was very different. So anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, guys. Catch my breath here, grab a drink of water. And then when we come back, I'm going to keep going. If you have something that you want to share that you've experienced in the last week with all this energy, put it in the chat so we can share it with one another. This is how we help one another. We're all helping each other, remember. We're talking about this new cycle beginning and all the energy just swirling about and what we can do with it. The angels are here for the insights, and they've been encouraging us through this whole thing. I'm Dr. Jen. You're listening to The Jen Royster Show. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the perfect setting for your next workshop or retreat? At Spirit Fire Meditative Retreat Center, cultivating consciousness is what we do best. Our guests count on us to create an atmosphere that supports serenity and well-being. We lead from the heart and create space for the mind. Freshly prepared meals designed with local and organic ingredients, 95 acres of beautiful woods and pastures, and a facility built with green in mind. This is what you'll find at Spirit Fire. For more information, visit spiritfireretreatcenter.com.
You said forever, you said always. Now you know things have changed, and going back is not an option. It's sudden, devastating, and is like taking a leap of faith. Tune in to From Two to You, Thriving After Divorce Radio, as Sarah Lou's empowerment coach and spiritual mentor reminds you to have faith in yourself. Tune in every second Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific and listen as Sarah encourages you to leave negative stories in the past and move forward. We all need a friend when I do becomes I can't. Let Sarah help as life takes you in a new direction. Leave the guilt and doubt in the past, step into the spotlight, and show the world who you are. To find out more about Sarah Lou's, visit sarahloos.com.
To find answers to life's questions, you need to look within yourself. Dr. Glenna Rice brings your questionable conversations on Transformation Talk Radio each month. Tune in each month for insight into how you can live up to your full potential. Dr. Glenna is a physical therapist, certified Access Consciousness, and Access Body Class facilitator. How does it get any better than this? For more information on Dr. Glenna Rice and her work, visit glennarice.com.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit TheTruthIsFunny.com.
Welcome back to the show. Okay, this is our last segment, so let me go over a few things that I want to make sure you know, because everybody felt this energy differently, and you will. This entire experience we're all doing together, and it's unique, and sharing it with one another is one of the best things we can do. And that just supports you because you don't feel like you're by yourself in it. Now, I want to ask you some questions to ask yourself that you can utilize this energy for. And when I ask the angels, what can we do with this energy? This is what popped up. Ask yourself, how do you want this new cycle in life, this brand new chapter, this brand new book you're writing about who you are? What do you want it to feel like? And how do you want to spend your time in this? How do you want this new cycle to feel? And how do you want to spend your time in it? Wow. And what do you want? What do you want to become? What do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? What do you want to share? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to stop believing that you were told to believe, or, whatever it is? Now's the time to harness that and grab it. Because this Aries energy is fearless. It will let you do that. And that's a good way to use this energy. And, I saw that Robin in the chat, she was writing that she's a Pisces and noticed a distinct difference moving into Aries. Yes, you would, because Pisces energy was very fluent. It's, connecting spiritually, and it's, you're processing, and it's kind of a floaty type of energy to me. And then when it goes into Aries energy, it's like, okay, feet on the ground, let's go. And Pisces is kind of working it out and connecting with the higher self. And you can still do that in Aries, but it's interesting how it comes in that order, because you connect in, you figure it out. And then when you go into the Aries, it's like, okay, feet on the ground, go. Or as in Shadana, like a racehorse riding in. Wow, that was a good one, David. And so, yes, she's got the energy going on. Now, how is she going to redirect that? See, sorry, Shadana, we're using you as example, but it's a good example. It's a really good one, because it's exactly what we're talking about with this energy. And, who are you? Do you know who you are? Do you? That's exactly what you need to nail down right now. Who are you? What do you want to be? Who do you don't want to be anymore? Or have you been actually you? Have you been just, what everybody wants to see? Things like that are incredibly powerful at a time like this. Now, it's a mind-body balancing here, guys. Mind-body balancing. If you're tired and you felt the energy that way, listen to it and honor it and give yourself the extra time for the rest. You may have been doing a lot of work in the other energy, and when it's shifted, catch your breath. Okay, all right, I'm good. And then you're ready to go. Sometimes a couple of days of extra rest makes all the difference in the world, because your body's aligning with the energy of what's going on too. And then if you were to go the opposite and you didn't sleep for several days, or you were dreaming off the chart, that is normally a lot of excess mental energy, mind energy, could be emotional energy that is being processed in the dream state. It's actually helping you. If it's not being processed in your wake conscious mind, it's going to process it then. So if it's really heavy like that, it's probably a lot of energy that was still in there that just needed processing. And it's kind of coming in like a floodgate, processing a lot more at once. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it makes sense if you were up all night for weeks. And I've had that happen. It goes back and forth. Sometimes I'm awake for days, and then it balances itself out. Sometimes I can't get enough sleep, and I've learned to just go with whichever way it goes, not to worry about it, because the mind's just trying to process all that. So that one right there, I did want to make sure I mentioned. The angels are saying, yes, the veil's thin. Yes, pay attention to who you're listening to in the spirit world. And that's not to be afraid of that. That is to make intention to only connect with divine energies. Be clear, be aware, be responsible. I know there's that responsibility thing again. Be responsible for what you're connecting to. That's important. Okay. So if you were just going about your day and you're just like, hey, you're not thinking about it, you're not grounding, you're not being present, you're just flying about without thinking about it, that's what will stumble you. That's what could get you into some pickles that you don't want to be in. Okay. It's just being responsible. It's being level-headed. It's being grounded. It's keeping it cleaned out. Keep your house, cleaned up. Keep it clear. There's a lot of energy out there flowing around right now, and you can channel it for the highest and best outcome. Absolutely. So let's see. We have Megan saying, I've been trying to reclaim my trust in my own intuition, searching for a new beginning. This sounds like the best time to do this. I hope I'm on the right track. Yes, it is. Because it's the easiest. I mean, literally today is one of the easiest. Any full moon is. A super moon even more so. And that influence of that moon, it was just yesterday, so it's still strong. But it's one of the easiest times to work with connecting with intuition, because it's just easier. As you practice it more and more, you can do it every day. You don't have to wait for an environment like that, like a full moon for that. But yes, it is easier. Moving forward, most important, that we want to connect with intuition. And because we have Aries energy driving it, we want to listen to the intuition. We want to trust it and make a decision from the higher self and the soul. We want to make decisions moving forward on this new cycle and do it better. This is our chance to do things better than we did before. Everybody, all of it, whatever it is. This is what you want. That's right now, today, right now, this energy. We have a good month to anchor in. And hear this part. This is important. We have a good month till the next full moon in April to anchor in this new cycle and how we want to do things moving forward. Making our choices, letting things go, listening to our intuition, you name it. We have this moon cycle now to really anchor in how we want this new path to go. Because this is, we're now on it. It's like we left the old, we're in the brand new book, we're in the brand new path. Okay, how do I want to approach this path? Brand new, clean slate. Remember, it's a clean slate. You can change it up. You can do things the same way. You can do some of it the same way and change a few things you know you could do better. You could use this wisely. Use this time wisely. You want to listen to your intuition because it knows exactly why you came here. You want to listen to your soul. You want to make those choices that way. And this isn't throwing logic out the window. Absolutely not. This is bringing logic into it, but the choices are not out of fear. That's how you know how you're making a decision. Are you making a decision out of fear because you're afraid if you don't do it this way, this might happen? Address it that way. Question it. Make a question it on big things that you're changing in your life. Why are you making the choice that you are? Out of fear? Or because that's what you feel is what you want to do? And you can still logically do something you've never done before in an unknown territory, logically, okay? Sometimes out of fear. I mean, sometimes we're so afraid of what might happen, and most of that doesn't happen unless we keep focusing on it and we manifest it. Okay, see, you don't want to do that. I mean, that's something that, man, I had to really practice in my younger days because I kind of grew up being it was kind of taught in the culture to be afraid of all kinds of stuff. And I've just like, no, I'm not going to live like that anymore. I don't want to be like that. So I'm coming from the experience of what I've worked really hard to do and just be fearless and move through it. Because being afraid of something you don't know very well, all that is just then learn it. It's just learn it. Don't be afraid to be a brand new student in something because you might mess up a couple of times. That's perfectionism causing all kinds of havoc in your life and you're never going to get anywhere. Now, who can relate to that? I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you can. I mean, that's just how that is. I mean, perfectionism is like, I'm not even going to do that because if I mess it up, perfectionism, it's okay to choose to do the best you can do and excel. But my goodness, don't hold yourself back because you might have a learning curve. You're missing everything this journey's all about. This journey is all of the above, the learning, the relearning, let me go back and try that differently. And you discover new things about you, and you discover your strengths. You discover what you really do love to do and what you don't really love to do. Things like that. I mean, it's just a beautiful time to explore how do you want to approach this new cycle. Now, this energy, it is infused with you can do anything you put your mind to. You can choose to be absolutely more than you ever thought you could be. It's a very inspirational energy that comes in to help you boost your confidence and trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself or you second guess that a lot, now's the time to tap into that to help you overcome that. I do love that. You got the strength, you've got the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, then go get it, go learn it. Be proactive. That's how Aries will work. Aries will approach it like that. Like, oh, I want to do that, but I don't know how. All right, let me go figure out and learn it. And then boom. And guess what? It's not afraid to try and make a mistake. It's going to do it, come back, try again, and do it better. Honestly, this entire brand new cycle with a clean slate is us getting a chance to go back and do it better. Do life better. Be who we are better, okay? And live in joy and actually make some choices that really support and align us. That's what the angels are excited about for us. That's what they want to support you in. And I hope that you've heard what I'm saying today. And, not even really trying to talk you into it. I'm very passionate about it, and I'm applying it to my life too. I'm excited about that. Now, for those in the angel retreat, quickly before we go off the air, in 1 hour at 1 o'clock, we are doing the angel gallery readings where we're painting them. I chose to do it today with this energy so we could paint those energy readings for each individual and really see what's going on with your energy so you know what you can do or not do or what you want to do. I want you to know that that's there. We're going to be doing that. If you're part of the membership, that's at 1 o'clock. Go to your membership site to see how to join that Zoom call. If you're not and you want to join us, go right over. I've got all the links in here, and you can join the membership at any time. We put out a lot of extra content. We gather together, and we have live calls. We do all kinds of stuff together, and we're a family. And it's more content that I bring to you exclusive to the members that way. Okay, guys, I'm out of time. I say go get them. This is your day. Celebrate a brand new cycle and make the most of it. I love you guys. We'll see you next time here on the Jen Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Remember to tune in each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Dr. Jen Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any other show, visit www.jenroyster.com and TransformationTalkRadio.com.